Post 1. Am I the jerk for taking back my grandpa's duplex from my aunt and cousin? I am a 33-year-old man who thought I understood the phrase clean handoff. My grandfather raised me like a third parent. In the last 2 years of his life, I did the rides, the spreadsheets, the pillbox, and the Friday grocery shop. He would sit in his workshop after and tell me stories while I labeled coffee cans of screws. In his will, he left me his small brick duplex, his workshop tools, and a savings account earmarked for the property's taxes and repairs. My Aunt Carol, his eldest, was named executor only until probate closed. She said it would be smooth. She said family first. I believed her. Probate closed 3 months ago. I have a stamped deed that puts the duplex in my name alone, a signed inventory, and a list that says the tools and a vintage truck title are attached to the bequest. The final email from the estate lawyer copied both of us and said, "Keys and records should be transferred this week." That was the last thing that felt simple. The first odd thing was the keys. Carol said she had to gather sets from cousins. I offered to meet her the next day. She said weekend, then the next weekend. Then she stopped answering during business hours and sent texts late at night about grief. I get grief. I was sitting in his empty kitchen wiping the ring where his coffee mug used to sit. After 2 weeks, I went to the duplex with my copy of the old key. It did not work. The locks had been changed. A neighbor, Mr. Alvarez, waved from his porch. He said, "Your cousin is here a lot." I thought he meant helping. I knocked on the lower unit, the one Grandpa used to rent to traveling nurses. My cousin Nate opened the door in a basketball jersey. He is Aunt Carol's son. He grinned like this was normal and said, "Oh, hey, we moved in while the paperwork shakes out." I said the paperwork had shaken. He said his mom said it was family property and we would sort rent later. He had a pizza box on the counter and a big TV mounted where Grandpa's landscape print used to hang. I looked at the fresh holes and felt a small panic I am embarrassed to describe. It looked like someone had written on his desk. I called Carol from the sidewalk. She said this was temporary, that the nurses had left early, and that family stability matters more than strict dates. I said the deed is not a suggestion. She said if I start with legal talk, I will make enemies I cannot afford. She used the phrase blood over paper. I hung up and sat in my car until my hands stopped shaking. Then I drove to the bank because I needed to look at something no one could talk around. The estate savings account had been